On this program, I'm delighted to welcome two out-of-town guests to the stage of PNC Recital Hall. The first is Clancy Newman, who is an Australian cellist, and Clancy's family emigrated to the United States when he was a child. He grew up in Albany, New York. He was the first person to complete the dual degree program at Juilliard and Columbia. He's someone that I began playing with early on in his career. He has won many, many major awards. He is also very renowned as a composer. And I'm delighted to be able to welcome him to the Bluff for our February 9th concert. And he and I are going to perform two works that are very close to our hearts. Schumann's Adagio and Allegro was originally written to be played by French horn, but Schumann, being very conscious of the commercial viability of his chamber music at that time, would often write alternate instruments that could be used, and that the cello is one which is often heard. It's very typical of Schumann's split personality, with Eusebius being the dreamer and the poet, and Florestan being the passionate, hot-headed side of Schumann's personality. So we have the Adagio with Eusebius, followed by the Allegro of Florestan. The work lasts around 8 minutes. Beethoven wrote 5 sonatas for piano and cello, which have been performed frequently on the Bluff concerts. Cellists love to play them. I love to play them. Clancy and I are going to do number 3, which may well be the most perfect music ever written for the cello and piano combination. It's just, every note is just exactly where it needs to be. It's Beethoven at the height of his powers. The first movement is just one big, long, lyrical melody falling over melody. It's just very, very easy to listen to and very, very easy to enjoy. The second movement is a very quirky scherzo, a lot of stops and starts, sounding very clumsy, but then alternating with passages that sound very smooth and melodic. The third movement is extremely short. It doesn't function as a separate movement on its own. It's more like an introduction to the finale, which is a work in which Beethoven demands incredible technical virtuosity from both instruments, very fast passage work at very high speed. It's a very, very challenging work for both cello and piano, but Clancy and I have had many happy experiences playing this, and we're so pleased to share this with you at this concert. Barbara Nisman is one of the greatest living concert pianists of our time. She is someone who has been particularly associated with the piano music of Bela Bartok, with Sergei Prokofiev, and Alberto Ginastera. She literally has written the book about many of these composers, and we are so happy that over the last 20 years she's had a very special relationship with Duquesne University. This is where she has made many of the compact discs in her spectacular recording discography. She's a regular masterclass presenter for us, and I'm so happy to welcome her back to our Bluff series, where she's had so much success over the years. At my request, she is performing the original version of Sergei Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Sonata, which she recorded here a few years ago. The sonata is kind of a stepchild in that Rachmaninoff wrote a very beautiful version of it, but Rachmaninoff often would have crises of self-confidence, and he wouldn't think it was any good, so then he would go back and he would rewrite the piece, but it would only be a fraction as long. And in Barbara's estimation, she thinks it's just a fraction as beautiful. And so this is a rare opportunity for us to hear the full, uncut, original version of this sonata, which is so typically Rachmaninoff, in his fabulous combination of warm, heartfelt melody and piano pyrotechnics, and Barbara's just the perfect person for it. The work lasts about 25-26 minutes.